So as you know, even though I'm recording, feel free to come on if you can't hear me, I don't make sense, you need some sort of idea to change the posture, whatever it may be. Anything you need, just come on. It's your class before the recording, right? Listen to your body. Only do what's comfortable for you. And if we come into a pose that doesn't feel good, please come out. Find a resting pose on the floor and then join us again whenever you're ready. So the most important thing during our class today is that number one, you've shown up. Number two, you breathe, right? The rest is just what it's going to be. Yeah. All right. So let's start lying down on the floor. Any comfortable position for you. I gotta close my door. All right. So once you find a comfortable place here, lying on the earth, I invite you to take a moment to, let's do this today. Let's place one hand on the heart and the other hand on the diaphragm. And just notice what you feel. Notice what you feel in your breath, in your body. What are you feeling emotionally? How does that feel in your body? And there's no judgment, right? Just notice. And then let's take a few rounds of breath here. So nice, slow inhale in through the nose, into the diaphragm, allow it to expand. And long, slow exhale. As you exhale, see if you can soften your body, releasing anything that maybe you don't need right now. Could be the week that came before you. Maybe it's thoughts about things you wish to do in the future. Let go of anything that doesn't help you be present. And trust that you can always return to it later after class if you wish. Or maybe you just let it go completely. We're going to take a few more rounds of breath here. Our practice today is on seeds of potential. Good morning, Kelsey. So first, a quote to begin. The practice of yoga brings us face to face with the extraordinary complexity of our own being. So in Sanskrit, the word for seed is bij. It is the beginning, or where everything in nature originated. We arose from the seed of love. We all start this life with seed of infinite potential. If we want our life to be beautiful, we need to cultivate the soil in which we land. If we want to shape our lives and see our futures, we need to look to the seeds we are sowing now: humility, gratitude, and peace. And if we want to be free, we must compost the most persistent weeds: regret, fear, and doubt. So let's take a couple more rounds of breath here. And as you settle into your mat, I invite you to wrap your arms around your knees, hug the knees in like a swaddled baby. Rest your head on the floor. Lessen the lines of concern between your eyes. Relax your jaw. Feel yourself grounding into the earth, into the arms of our great mother herself. Like a rounded seed in this pose, you carry the potential for all of your life. You carry all of the elements and sparks of stars. You carry hope and desire, grace and significance. In this posture, remember your perfection, beauty, and worthiness. Right. So whenever you are ready here, we're going to release the feet to the earth. So we're going to move a little bit with this kind of seed shape, a few different variations here. So first we're going to start with a wind relief pose. We'll hug the right knee in towards the chest, activating the right foot, extending the left leg long on the earth. We'll just take a few rounds of breath here to begin. And then we're going to find a little bit of core activation here this morning already. It's okay, it's just little. All right, so we'll just notice the stretch here in the body. Maybe you move around the knee a little bit, feeling a little bit of movement in the hips, or the hip, sorry, the right hip. All right, so from here, let's hug the right knee in, keep the right foot active. And then we're gonna lift the left leg off the earth just a few inches. Draw the belly button in to send the low back down towards the earth. Okay, even just finding a slight tuck of the tailbone, that helps too. And feel the core activate here. And then exhale to lower. Okay, we're gonna do that a few more times. Inhale, lift the leg, draw the belly button in, hug the right knee in, send the low back to the earth. Exhale to lower. 4 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Hug the right knee in. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Let's switch over to the other side, hugging the left knee in, activating the left foot. Maybe that right leg comes along on the earth. And again, feel into the stretch here. Maybe it's making movements with the left leg. Just a little warning, I have a dog in a room with me, so if you hear barking, I apologize. It happens. All right, so let's hug that left knee and keep the left foot active. Draw the belly button in and down towards the earth. Slight tuck of the tailbone, lift the right leg. Just a couple inches. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, squeeze the left knee in. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. About halfway. Inhale, lift. Tuck the tailbone. Draw the belly button in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And our last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. All right, let's release the left leg. We'll place both feet on the earth about mat distance apart and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. So as we go through these seed shape movements, if you feel discomfort in your low back, feel free to come out, maybe windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay. So seed breaths is what our next one is called. So we're gonna hug both knees in towards the chest and grab a hold of wherever's comfortable. Might be up knees, it could possibly be underneath the knees, like on the thighs instead, if that's more comfortable. All right, and the way the seed breaths work is as we inhale, we allow the legs to move away from the chest and we lengthen our spine on the mat. Okay, so send the head away, reach the knees away. Exhale, draw the knees in towards the chest. Inhale, knees move away, lengthen the spine, reach the crown of the head back. Exhale, round, draw the knees in. We'll do a couple more. Inhale, lengthen, knees away. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to round. We're going to find some seed circles. So we're going to make circles here in the knees. Maybe the knees work, or excuse me, go clockwise, counterclockwise. Maybe they go opposite directions from each other. We're going to draw those knees back in. Seed crunches. Yay. Okay, so kind of like our seed breaths. Inhale, we move the knees away. We lengthen the spine. Exhale, we draw the knees in, bring the head up towards the knees. Inhale, knees away, lengthen the spine across the earth. Exhale, round, draw the knees in. Head and shoulders come off the earth. Moving with your own breath here. Inhale, lengthen, knees away. Exhale to round. Send the low back down to the earth. Let's do one more. Take a little break here, drop the knees. Drop the feet. Feet are wide on the mat, windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Okay, so before we move on to our next seed movement, we're going to find a little bit of movement here to warm up the backs of the shoulders. So backs of the shoulders, a request for today. So we'll bring the feet about hip distance apart and repositioning the back flat on the earth. So we're going to find our window arms here. Arms reach up towards the sky, bending at the elbows, grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. Okay, on your exhale, allowing your arms to drop over towards one side. Inhale, arms come to center, and exhale over to the other side. And just moving with your own breath. Notice which side, which shoulder you feel the stretch the most. All right, and the next time your arms come back to center, changing the cross of your arms so whichever one is in front becomes the one that's behind. And same thing as before. Exhale over to one side and inhale to center. All right, bringing the arms back to center, releasing the arms down by your side. So just a little bit of opposite movement here for our back before we find more seed shapes. We'll find a moving bridge. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are bent. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, pushing your feet into the earth, lift the hips, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, and exhale to lower. Maybe you bring the arms into the movement. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the hips. Arms come back behind you, fingernails to the earth, and exhale to lower. Do a few more. Okay, we'll find one more here. Allowing the back to come flat on the earth. And then we come into what's called our baby seed, which is just rolling over to one side. Find kind of like a seed position here on your side. Draw your knees in close to your chest, as close as it feels good. Maybe use one arm as your pillow. And then slowly making your way up to seated. We're going to find something called a seated seed, last seed pose, I promise. Okay, so in our seated seed, we're actually going to bring the knees to the earth, or the feet to the earth, the knees are bent. So kind of like when we were lying down, we were doing those curls, we're going to wrap our arms this time around the legs, if that's comfortable for you, and tuck the chin in towards chest, round the spine. So you might feel here a little bit of a stretch along the back of the neck, maybe into the upper back. Okay, let's release the arms. We're going to come right into a butterfly pose. Feet come together, knees come apart. Find your sits bones here. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Let's bring the arms out wide, kind of like butterfly arms, drawing the heart up towards the sky. Exhale to round the spine, giving yourself a nice hug. Tuck the chin in. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. Maybe opposite arm comes on top. Just moving here with your own breath at your own pace. Let's find one more. From your butterfly pose, let's bring the hands down by the sides. We're going to bring the right hand to the earth. The left palm faces up towards the sky, allowing that left arm to reach up and over. Find length along the left side body, rolling that left shoulder back and down your spine. And that right hand can move. That right hand can move away as far as it feels comfortable, as long as both hips stay on the earth. We're going to find a little movement to come over to the other side. So this left hand is going to draw a half circle across the front. Maybe it touches the earth, maybe it doesn't. And then we're going to shift over. So the left hand comes to the earth, the right arm reaches up and over. Maybe you come through center rather than coming through the front, whatever feels comfortable for you. So come over to the other side, right arm sweeps forward. Coming over to the other side. Left arm sweeps forward. Nope, right arm sweeps forward again. Goodness. All right, sweeping back over to the other side. One more time. Got mixed up with the arms, that's okay. Inhale, we'll come to center. Exhale, we'll bring the legs out, give them a shake. You figured out where you were going. Okay, let's find a tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Finding some C shapes here. So hips come out to the left side, looking over the left shoulder towards the hips. Inhale to center and exhale over to the other side. Moving back and forth at your own. All right, making your way back to your tabletop pose. And from here, drawing the left arm up towards the sky. We're gonna open here. And then the left arm maybe comes back behind you towards the low back or the hip, maybe to the left hip, maybe to the low back, maybe even reaching around towards the front of the right thigh. And then dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. On your next, well, no, let's stay here a couple more rounds of breath. Sorry, I'm rushing. Taking my time, slowing down. All right, on your next inhale, bringing your head back to center, release that left arm back up towards the sky, and then we're gonna thread the needle, allowing the left arm to come underneath the body, palm faces up, coming all the way down onto that left shoulder, left side of the head. And then notice where the shoulder is it by the ears? Send it further down towards the knees. And then soften, melt, release. Find any variation that feels good here. Maybe the right hand comes forward. Maybe the right leg comes out to the side. And then allow gravity to do its job. Sink your body down and settle. Maybe you feel stretch here in that left shoulder. Right. We arose from the seed of love. One more round of breath. And then right knee comes to the earth, right hand under the shoulder. Pushing into the right hand to release the left arm. We'll bring it back up towards the sky. One more reach. And exhale to lower. Let's find the other side. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. We're going to find that neck stretch here. So allowing the right hand to come down maybe to the right hip, behind the back, or finds the front of the left thigh. And then allowing the left ear to come down towards the left shoulder. While you're here, trying not to collapse in on the left arm and gripping the fingers of that left hand into the earth. We arose from the seed of love. All right, allowing the head to come back to center. Releasing the right hand back up towards the sky. And then scooping the right arm under. Finding thread the needle on this side. Find your variation. We all start this life with the seed of infinite potential. Okay, one more round of breath. Left knee to the earth, left hand under the shoulder, pushing into the hand to unravel. Right hand reaches back up towards the sky. Exhale, right hand to the earth. All right, our knees need a break. Let's curl the toes under, send the hips up and back behind you, downward dog. So a reminder in downward dog, gripping the fingers into the earth, cup the hands. Okay, we wrap the upper arms, the triceps under, almost as if we're tucking them into our armpits. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. We send the hips back, think back rather than up. So towards the back of your mat, as much of a bend in your knees as you need. Soften the neck. And then find movement if you wish. Maybe you pedal out your feet, maybe you sway hips from side to side, or maybe you stay the way you are. What feels good here? We all start this life with a seed of infinite potential. One more round of breath. And then let's shift our weight forward into a plank pose. Maybe you find your plank with knees on the earth. Draw the belly button in. Push the earth away from you. And then shift forward a little bit more. Drop the knees if you haven't already. Tuck the elbows and lower. All right, baby cobra. We'll start by reaching the feet back behind us. Tops of the feet come down to the earth. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Tuck the elbows, lift the heart, and look down at the earth. Find your breath. If we want our life to be beautiful, we need to cultivate the soil in which we land. One more round of breath here. All right, and then either reverse push-up or tabletop. Downward dog. Perhaps you pedal out your feet again. All right, and we're gonna take kind of like a squat variation of downward dog. It's not as scary as it sounds. Okay, so bringing your feet so they're hip distance apart, 2 fist widths. Okay, and then you're gonna just turn your toes out. You might be up on your toes, totally fine. Turning the toes so they're pointing out towards the sides of the mat, on the edges of the mat. And then you're gonna take a deep bend in your knees and send the hips back. Kind of like you're coming into a squat. If you need to, you can always shorten your stance, bringing your feet a little closer to the hands. Send the hips back, back, back. Soften the shoulders down. All right, let's turn our feet one more time, come back into downward dog. And then we're gonna make our way towards the front of our mat into a forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart. From here, either you dangle the arms, if that feels good, or maybe grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. Allowing the shoulders to soften, allow the arms to reach towards the earth. Almost as if they're weights here. Maybe you shake out your head. Maybe you sway side to side. All right, let's release the arms and find a halfway lift. Hands come to shins or thighs. As much of a bend in your knees as you need here. Finding a flat back. I do this for those of us that get lightheaded when we come up too quick. I'm one of those. Okay, hands come to your hips, lengthen your spine. Come on up with a flat back. Finding mountain pose near the top of your mat. Okay, so as we move through here, we're gonna find either low lunge, so knee to the earth, or crescent lunge, high lunge, knee up off the earth. You decide what you need today. Okay, do you need a more active, invigorating practice, or do you need a quieter practice here? So we'll start mountain pose, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Inhale, extended mountain, soften the shoulders down. Exhale, bend at the knees, flat back, swan diving down into forward fold. From here, stepping the right foot back. Do you wish to come into a low lunge or crescent lunge? So low lunge, knee drops, crescent lunge, stay up on the toes, squeeze the inner thighs to rise. All right, this is where we're gonna find a little bit of something for the shoulders. So drawing the hands towards each other, elbows towards each other, hands away from the face. Lift the elbows so they're about shoulder height. Let's find a couple more rounds of breath here. Okay, we're gonna find a little bit of movement here. So we're gonna hinge forward from the hips, bringing the hands down. So just find length here in the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Draw the belly button in, inhale, come on up. Find the place for the arms. Okay, exhale, we're gonna come into a twist. So maybe it's hand down twist, right hand to the floor, left hand up towards the sky. Or maybe it's prayer twist, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Hands are in prayer, pushing into the right knee to help you open to the side. If you're losing balance, find a wider stance, right foot to the right side, left foot to the left. All right, inhale, let's come back to our lunge. Arms reach up towards the sky. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. We're gonna step back right into downward dog. All right, so let's find that squat in our downward dog again, if you wish. Turning the toes out towards the long edges of the mat. And send the hips back, squat down or back, I guess. Notice what's going on the shoulders. Are they up by the ears? Roll them away from the ears. All this looks so much easier than what it actually feels. All right, one more round of breath. Downward dog. We're gonna shift our weight forward into Your variation of a plank pose. Shift forward, drop the knees, tuck the elbows and lower. All right, so maybe it's baby cobra, maybe it's full cobra or sphinx pose. What is your body ready for? Wherever you are, we want the shoulders rolling away from the ears. Exhale to lower. Reverse push-up or tabletop. Downward dog. Making your way towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. So if you found that clasp where you grab a hold of opposite elbows in your forward fold, maybe switch the cross of your arms for the side and then find whatever feels good here. The arms are like weights. So we kind of feel a little bit of a stretch here in the shoulders and the back. All right, inhale, halfway lift. Bring the hands to the hips, lengthen the spine. Come on up with a flat back. Mountain pose at the top of your mat. And our other side. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping the left foot back this time, either low lunge or crescent lunge. Wide stance. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. And then again, we're going to find that the arm shape, hands together, elbows together. Woo! Hands away from the face, elbows are shoulder height. Take deep inhales, long, slow exhales to find your balance. All right, find length in the spine, hinge forward from the hips. Crown of the head reaches forward. I feel a release here in the shoulders, softening. Inhale, come on back up. And then finding your variation of a twist. Maybe it's hand down twist, or perhaps it's prayer twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Push into the thigh to help you turn. Today I am grateful for this wall that is beside me. One more round of breath. And then inhale, draw the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back into your downward dog. Shall we find that squat one more time? Turning the toes out. Last one. Send the hips back. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, downward dog. Shifting forward to your plank. Shift forward a little more, drop the knees and lower. Find your back bend of choice. All right, and then we're gonna make our way into a tabletop. We're going to find a variation of a child's pose, so with a thread. So we'll find child's pose to begin. So any variation that feels good, maybe it's knees together or knees apart. And if you can, bring the arms out long. If you need to, you can always find a block or a folded blanket to place underneath the forehead if the forehead doesn't come all the way down to the earth. So let's just find a couple rounds of breath here first. If we want our life to be beautiful, we need to cultivate the soil in which we land. Okay, so we're going to come out just a little bit. So walk the hands back so you have some space underneath the arms. And we'll start here with the left side so you can see me better. We're going to bring the left arm out towards the side. And then you're going to scoop the left arm under. So you want the palm to face up towards the sky, kind of like when we come in to thread the needle. Tuck the shoulder back, and then you're going to come down. So if you can, you're going to come down onto like the back of the arm here, as much as you comfortably can. So the tricep area. And sit back into your child's pose. And let's find 2 more rounds of breath. Once that's complete for you, you're going to slowly lift up. Walk the right hand back a little bit to unravel. And bring that left arm forward. Come over to the other side, right arm to the side. Scoop the right arm under. Draw that right shoulder back towards the knees. And then slowly come down. So know that your pose may look nothing like mine. We just want to make sure that we feel a stretch along the back of the shoulder, maybe even to the back of the arm. That's all that matters. What it looks like doesn't matter. If we want to shape our lives and see our futures, we need to look to the seeds we are sowing now. Humility, gratitude, and peace. Okay, so whenever you're ready, walking that left hand back to give you some space. Push into the hand to unravel. Right hand comes forward. We're just going to come right back into our child's pose. From here, why don't we try a variation of child's pose? If it feels good for you. You're going to walk your hands towards each other. Clasp the hands. Bring the elbows in a little closer to your head if you can. Bend at the elbows and send the hands behind you. From here, gently releasing the hands. Making your way back into your tabletop pose. Curling your toes under, downward dog.
Okay, so we're gonna return to that lunge. So it's up to you, it can be low lunge or high. This time we're gonna start on the other side and we're gonna come into it differently. Right foot reaches up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, sending the right foot through. So sometimes we need to take the right foot around the outside to step in and then reposition that foot so that it's between the hands. All right, find your lunge. Woo. All right, first let's find a back bend. So if it's comfortable for you, clasping the hands behind the low back. If not, maybe grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. Send the tailbone down towards the earth, shoulders roll back and down the spine, lift the heart. All right, so you can do this if you're in a low lunge. We're gonna find humble warrior. So if you are up on the high lunge, let's place the left foot to the earth into warrior one, still holding on to the backs of the arms. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge forward with a flat back, come inside the right knee. And maybe those arms reach up towards the sky. Those arms, your arms. All right, one more round of breath. And then come on up with a flat back. Find your lunge again, arms reach up towards the sky. Okay, either hands are gonna come together, forearms together, or eagle arms. What's it called? Right arm comes out in front, left arm over top, bending at the elbows. Maybe the hands come together, maybe you wrap the hands. Shoulders, elbows are shoulder height, shoulders soften, hands away from the face. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. This might feel different this time if you're in eagle arms. Squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, lift the arms. Release the arms. Allowing the hands to come to the earth. Step back into downward dog. We're going to come over to the other side. Left foot reaches up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, bringing the left foot through. However you need to get it there, right? Low lunge or crescent lunge, arms reach up to the sky. I always find it interesting to see how balance changes day to day. Okay, so we'll find that back bend. Maybe you clasp the hands or grab opposite elbows. Whatever you do, find the opposite of what you do naturally. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Heart reaches up towards the sky. We're going to find that humble warrior. So stepping the right foot to the earth if you're in that crescent lunge. Toes point up towards top right corner of the mat. Lengthen the spine. Hinge forward, coming inside the left leg. And know that if you're doing this from a low lunge, it might feel like it's difficult to come inside because the weight kind of changes a little bit, the weight distribution. So if you feel tippy, it's all right. All right, push into that front foot, lift back up, release the arms. So either forearms together or eagle arms, left arm out in front, right arm over top. Find your variation here. Hands away from your face. Soften the shoulders. Ooh, we're back up into that lunge, up on the toes, if that's comfortable. You can stay in the warrior one or knee on the earth. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. We're gonna allow the arms to kind of dangle here. So you're keeping the whatever figuration it is that you made in your arms, but we want to soften from the shoulders. The arms are weights. One more round of breath. And come on back up. Release the arms up. Hands come down to the earth. Let's all come into tabletop. Child's pose. If we want to be free, we must compost the most persistent weeds: regret, fear, and doubt. Okay, let's make our way to seated. From seated, we are going to come into a revolved nose to knee. So we'll start with the left foot in and the right leg out to the right side. Right foot is active. Find length in your spine here. Find your sits bones. Okay, and then if you have a block, sorry, I should have mentioned this before you got into this. If you have a block you wish to use it, you can place it to the inside of the right leg, or maybe arm comes onto the right leg. Okay, so we're gonna place that forearm down, palm faces up. Roll the left shoulder open. Maybe you stay here, or maybe the left arm reaches up and over. Find length along the left side body. And then notice, where are your shoulders turning to? Where is your gaze? So we want to start to rotate open. So instead of shoulders pointing down, head pointing down, we want to open, try to open to the side. If you need to, you walk your arm back a little bit to help you open. Keep the right foot active. Eventually, the pose is rotating the heart up towards the sky, not in this body. Okay, one more round of breath here. And then drawing the left arm up and over to the earth. Mind your block. Maybe you reach that right arm up and over. Maybe you come up onto the left knee. What feels good here with that top arm? Do you find circles? Do you reach back? And exhale to lower. We're going to find that on the other side. Left leg out long, right leg comes in. Find your block if you need it. Find your sits bones sitting up tall. Activating the left foot. Left forearm comes down. Roll the right shoulder open. You see how when we roll it open, we're rotating the rib cage up towards the sky. That's kind of where we want it to stay if we can. And then maybe the right arm reaches up and over towards the left side. Softening the right shoulder back and down the spine. Continue opening the rib cage to the side, maybe up a little bit towards the sky.
Slow, be gentle. On your next inhale, coming to center, right hand to the earth, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe you stay here, come up onto the right knee. Find what feels good for you on this side. Just remembering to grip the right hand into the earth while you're here. Try not to collapse in on the right arm. So maybe even just a micro bend here in the elbow. Exhaling to lower. All right. Our twist today is going to be a seated twist. We've done lots of twists, but you know. Okay, our seated twist. So you're going to go as far as it feels good. Bringing the right leg out in front and hugging the left knee in. Find your sits bones sitting up nice and tall. Perhaps you cross the left foot over the right leg. If all four corners of the feet touch the earth and if both hips stay on the earth, maybe you tuck the right leg under. Every day's different. Okay, 4-part twist here. So we're gonna bring the right hand to around that front leg. Maybe it's the arm. Left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the low rib cage. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Adjust your arm if you need to, the right arm. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the head. Find the variation that feels good for you here. Maybe you're just hugging that front knee in with the right arm, the top knee, front knee, or maybe it's outside of the right elbow, close to the outside of the left thigh. Push into the thigh to help us turn. Kind of like in our prayer twist. Keep the length in the spine. Some people can find a bind here. The shoulders don't work that way. Threading the right arm through that left leg, reaching around. There's no way I can reach. Doesn't matter. Sitting up nice and tall. One more round of breath. And then coming back to center. And crossing the legs. Maybe you give them a shake. And the other side, sitting up tall, drawing the right knee in. Maybe the right foot crosses over. If it's in your body, maybe that left leg tucks under. Ooh, notice the difference from side to side. 4-part twist, right hand behind you, left hand to the right knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the low rib cage. Where does that front arm want to go? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning the head. And again, you found the variation that feels good for you in your body. On your next inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back to center. And crossing the legs, give them a shake. All right, and I invite you to come all the way down onto your back. Okay, let's find a bridge pose. Again, just to kind of counteract all that forward folding, the rounding. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are bent. Bringing the feet in close to the sits bones. And then whenever you're ready, push the feet into the earth. Lift the hips, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes. I'm going to give you an option here. If you need to maybe relax a little bit rather than being active, perhaps you find a prop to slide underneath the sacrum, so not the low back, just lower. And find a restorative version of a bridge pose. If not, keep squeezing the inner thighs, lift the hips. Maybe you grab a hold of the long edges of the mat. Imagine you're ripping the mat in half. Or if it's in your body, tucking the shoulders under, clasping the hands, and see if you can send the hands down towards the earth. Notice what's going on here in your chin. So we don't want the chin to crunch in towards the chest. We want to imagine a grapefruit underneath the chin. I laugh. Okay, funny story. I'm going to share a funny story while you're here. I know it's not very relaxing, but funny story. So we got groceries, and my husband started cutting into what he thought was an orange. And he got partway through, he said, "This isn't an orange, is it?" Like, no, it's a grapefruit, and he hates grapefruit. Thought it was an orange. Knew by the smell. Maybe you had to be there. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Couple more rounds of breath. All right, releasing here, untuck the shoulders, slowly lowering the back down towards the earth. If you're in that restorative pose, push the feet into the earth, remove the prop from underneath you, bring the back down. Allow the back to soften. All right, is there something else you need? Well, actually first, let's do this. Sorry. We're gonna come into one more seat pose. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe you make circles with the knees. Maybe you find a different variation, one of the seed variations that we found earlier. In this posture, remember your perfection, beauty, and worthiness. Okay, find a final shape or movement that you need. We have about a minute. That's it, just a minute. And then find a final resting shape here on the earth. Once you are ready, there's not too much of a rush. Once you come all the way down to the earth, softening the lines between the eyebrows, allowing the shoulders to melt down. Relaxing the hips. If you wish, returning to that practice that we did at the beginning of our class, bringing one hand to your heart and one hand to your diaphragm. Notice your body, notice your breath. What do you feel? Is there something you feel emotionally that's manifesting in your body here somehow? But notice if there's a difference from the beginning of your practice until now. Maybe things have shifted, even just a little bit, or maybe a lot. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. And I'll share with you again this poem or section called Your Perfection. Resting your head on the floor, lessening the lines of concern between the eyes, and relax your jaw. Feel yourself grounding into the earth arms of the Great Mother herself. Like a seed in this pose, you carry the potential for all of your life. You carry all of the elements and sparks of stars. You carry hope and desire, grace and significance. In this posture, remember your perfection, beauty, and worthiness. All right, take one more breath into your body. Each day we get to wake up and take another breath. Each day we get to start again. And we mess up again. Life is in both of these moments. So when you are ready, Let's go out into the world with grateful hearts and open minds and begin anew. Making small movements here in your body. When you're ready, you're going to find that baby seed rolling over to one side. I promise no more seed poses. Well, rolling over to one side, hug the knees in towards you. And then slowly making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. I honor this virtual space that we are in that has allowed us to come here together to practice. I honor all of the yogis from India, all of the teachers from around the world who have brought us this beautiful practice. And I honor all of you for being here today, for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Have a beautiful weekend.